Welcome to Lunch Break Reviews. Each episode, we unpack something from our lunch, whether it's a main course like a movie, TV show, or comic, or a side dish like a trailer or hot rumor. We check out who prepared the meal, see what others are saying about it, and then take a bite ourselves. Breaking it down with the lunch break point system, I'm Bradley Butine. I can't even say my own last name today. Words are hard. I'm the nerd dad, Brad, the emperor of awesome. There's no time to waste. Let's open the brown bag of goodness and see what's on the menu today. And there's only one movie that can make the menu today. That is Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Ballerina. Yes. So good. I really enjoyed it. We'll get into some thoughts. Is there some things that probably could have been better? Yeah, we'll break down a bunch of stuff here in just a second. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about the creatives of this. And let's talk a little bit about the synopsis of this movie. First, an assassin trained the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. So this is directed by Len Wiseman. He also directed Total Recall, Live Free or Die Hard, and the Underworld movies. Written by Shay Hatton. Also wrote John Wick Chapters 3 and 4, Army of the Dead, Rebel Moons. Don't hold that against him. Day Shift, Army of Thieves, and Army of the Dead. Man, I wanted to like Rebel Moon so bad. The director's cuts are a lot better than the PG version that we got that shouldn't have been. So it's all right. Derek Kolstad. All the characters are created by Derek Kolstad and stars Ana de Armas plays Eve. She's known for Blade Runner 2049, Blonde, Knives Out, and No Time to Die. Keanu Reeves is, of course, John Wick. From The Matrix, Speed, Point Break, and Johnny Mnemonic. Next, Angelica Houston. She is from The Grifters, The Witches, Ever After, A Cinderella Story, Pritzi's Honor. Ian McShane plays Winston from Deadwood, Pirates of the Caribbean, Kung Fu Panda, and of course, John Wick. Gabriel Byrne plays the Chancellor from The Usual Suspect, End of Days, Heredity, and Miller's Crossing. Catalina Sandino Moreno plays Lena from Maria Full of Grace, Paris of Time, The Bridge, A Most Violent Year. Ava Joyce McCarthy plays Ella from Andor, Primrose Railway Children. She's a cute little kid. I hope she does a lot more stuff. She was super, super fun. Juliet Doherty plays Tatiana from High Strung Free Dance, Strange Girl in Strange Land, Driven to Dance, and The Accompanist. Norman Reedus plays Daniel Pine from The Walking Dead, Ride, Bike Riders, and Boondock Saints. And Lance Reddick plays Sharon. Final role here from John Wick, Bosch, and White House Down. Okay, so IMDb gives this a rating of a 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic gives us a 59 with 44 critic reviews. User scores a 6.6 with 62 user ratings. Letterboxd is a 3.5 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 76% on the tomato meter and a 94% on the popcorn meter. You know, sometimes you just need a movie that doesn't make a lot of sense to enjoy. And I think this is going to kind of fall in that category. All right. So now we're going to go over some of what the critics are saying. Then we'll get into what the people who've actually watched the movie, the users, the viewers, whatever you want to call it. We're going to start with Amelia Harvey from Frame Rated. Ballerina would have benefited from giving us new characters we care about and taking more time to flesh out Eve's world instead of relying on an audience's knowledge and affliction of the John Wick franchise. Next, Nick Rogers from the Midwest Film Journal. Although mostly salvaged by the final act of delightful, demented action, Ballerina doesn't make a great case for expanding the world of John Wick, hindered largely by Ana de Armas' turn, interested in very little beyond executing action choreography. Keith Garleton from Keith and the Movies, filled with killer characters, callbacks, and carnage, Ballerina earns its spot amid the ever-growing John Wick canon, and all while highlighting the budding star power of a terrific Ana de Armas. Neil Minow movie mom. Yes, the stunts are always spectacular, but what makes the John Wick movies enthralling is the world. A parallel universe where international assassins operate in ultra elegant surroundings without any interference from cops or, well, reality. Steven Zakarik from Time magazine. The pleasures of Ballerina are both blunt and fleeting. You're not going to remember the plot or any of the performances, perhaps save one 5 minutes after the end credits roll, but the picture's cartoonish brutality is cathartic. And finally, Rachel Leisman from The Mary Sue. Director Len Wiseman knows how to make Eve both cool, powerful, and vulnerable all at the same time. It helps that Ana de Armas is one of the coolest people around. Okay, there is a bunch from the critics. I feel like the critics are really going harsh on this. Sometimes they forget it's entertainment, and I get it. They like to be nitpicky. I like to review mine not in that way, but we'll get into that with the lunch break point system. Let's go ahead and get into the viewer/audience reviews. And here's my quick little disclaimer. These reviews are chosen so based on title alone, and I haven't read them beforehand. So let's dive in together. Please excuse any mispronunciations as I read them exactly as they appear, punctuation quirks, and all. We're going to start with a 1-star review, and that's from John C-051, and is titled, Yosemite Sam is more believable. I managed to suspend belief until the third fight scene. Then I realized I was watching a cartoon and took a nap. When I woke up after 15 minutes at fight scene 27, I came to the conclusion that the fight scenes between Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam were more realistic. At least Sam got damaged and had some funny lines. John Wick turns up just long enough to inject himself in fight scene 55 to 59, mumble some unmemorable lines, and appeared just above being comatose. If I hadn't sat through the whole thing, I would have not believed it. In fact, I did sit through the whole thing, minus 15 minutes, and I didn't believe any of it. Okay. Are you supposed to believe everything that you see in the movies? Because I don't know about that. Anyway, let's go into... I didn't have a lot of choices for 2 stars or 3 stars. The next thing I found out was at least a decent title is a 4 out of 10. And this one is a good-ish or a bad-ish. Surprisingly boring. I'm a fan of the John Wick films, so thought that this might be a good film to go and see, as it is a branch of the franchise. Oh, alas, whilst it wasn't terrible, it really isn't very good and was very disappointing. There seems little point in mentioning the acting, directing, plot, script, or cinematography. In trying to be balanced, I'll say they are all vaguely adequate, but I may be being a bit generous there. The problem I have with this film is that whilst it had wall-to-wall action, it was boring and felt too long. In the end, I wanted the protagonist to snuff it, albeit in a convoluted and original way. I know that this is an action film, and the disbelief needs a kick between the legs when it creeps in. But this went beyond comic book and any engagement, and just became an irritating. The John Wick films do have this level of action, but somehow feel more credible and keep the audience engaged. This film did not. The underlying premise is fine, but maybe the studio need to rethink how they compile these films. This felt tired and very unoriginal. Dare I say they need a bit more thought and plotting? And please, no sequel to this in any form. Some characters should just stay in the shadows or retire. If this film were a hired killer, it would be better set adrift in a boat with a hamper of food, a little bit of money, and a gun with 1 bullet, and told to make a choice between a quiet life away from the cinema or ending it all. Okay, well, they had a lot to say about that. Is there any credit to that? I don't know. We'll talk about it here shortly. Let's keep going on with these reviews. I have I got a goodish review. This is a 5 out of 10. This is from Andrea Santoso, and is titled Spin-Off is Not a Spin-Off. All right, this is warning spoilers. Watch without thinking of any sense, plot hole, storyline. Just be stupid, and you might enjoy this film. Spoiler alert. Some of the action were good, some were just over the top. At the beginning, a henchman was short by 5 or 6 arrows when the first arrow was already hit in the head. The title is Ballerina, no cappuccina, but there is not a single scene where the MC doing a ballet show or act or use in any action. They only show a little training routine. Maybe Red Sparrow should have been the title. 3. The final test before first contract. 10-year-old veteran had to head with a rookie an assembled weapon to kill each other. The veteran had about 1 or 2 second jump start, still lose to the rookie. Meh. 4. The Korean actress was really bad, just like a puppy being dragged. After that, MC got hit by a bad guy car. Isn't that mean? The two clan already at war, missing plot holes for me. 5. Norman Reedus cameo. Why there is no gimmick for the crossbow or joke about crossbow, missed an opportunity for me. 6. The grenade scene. Just watch and don't add physics in your mind. 7. And no ice skating scene, maybe just got play with the angle camera. Many times showing the ice and using ice skating shoes for the weapon. 8. John Wick sent to settle the feud. But what is the assignment? Kill the MC or destroy the whole villains. He's given the MC deadline for settled the revenge. I thought, whatever the outcome, he is still kill the MC. So there is no war between the two clans. 9. And yet he's not killing her. And then why you miss the scene they fight together? Why? 10. Flamethrower. That's not how you use a flamethrower. It's not a father pistol. Father pistol. I don't get that. But anyway. And last is they using the Wick reload like a diaper for baby. Maybe they want to pay for homage, but I think it's a mockery. Keanu finds his flick when the choreography didn't find it. Maybe when the MC training for shooting, either the mentor teach them the Wick flip and tell this is Baba Yaga trademark, or I prefer the MC saw John Wick doing this and start copying for her. Sometime being older is curse. Too much realistic thinking, even though every film is fiction. Okay, I'm definitely thinking this is definitely from somebody not in the United States, so sorry for mispronouncing some of those words. It is what it is. Okay, see, this one actually made some points for me, but we'll get into that. I have some of the same thinkings. However, I think 5 is a little harsh, but we're going to keep on going to a 7 out of 10 from Mate Pulse. And this is titled Outstanding Action Sequences. Again, warning, spoilers. Ballerina is just an amazing action film with a simple story and weak dialogues. The story, just like the first entry of the franchise, is about revenge. It's simple, but it also has a great twist. It's very much like the first film, but John Wick, the protector who should kill Eve, but instead protects her just like William Dafoe's character in the first one. I love how John's decisions are true to character. I also love how good Eve is as a killer. Until she meets John Wick, this reminds me of the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order ending. Eve is a good character. Her life is tragic, but she doesn't really have an arc. She just gets better as she gets older. On the other hand, the dialogues are sometimes extremely unnatural, which took me out of times. The comedic moments totally worked for me though. The direction is good. It's clear that the goal of the movie is action entertainment. After the opening scenes, it's 90% action and it's spectacular. The amount of training, choreography, and stunt work is unbelievable. I love how different the characters' fighting styles are. The cinematography is good with the efficient editing. The visual effects are great. I wouldn't have noticed some CGI buildings if I knew they were not there. Speaking of that, I love the locations. Prague is beautiful, just like in the first Mission Impossible. Hallstatt is also a gorgeous location. The cast is great. It's lovely to see Gabriel Byrne. The Usual Suspects is one of my favorite films. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick. He didn't have much to do, but he had a great presence as always. Ian McShane makes me forget how much I hated Winston after John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Keanu Reeves is always as good as always, and the character is iconic. Ana de Armas is obviously great as the lead, and she is amazing during the action sequences. Ballerina is worth an addition is a worthy addition to the John Wick franchise in every way. Okay, I get it, I like it, and I kind of agree with you probably more than everybody else, but I got a couple more reviews to go over, so let's keep this train going. I have from Stephen D. Beard, a 9 out of 10, and is titled Fight Like a Girl. I liked this one because that's exactly what my kids said when I took them to the movie. Warning, spoilers. I saw From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, No Time to Die, Knives Out, Gabriel Byrne, War of the Worlds, TV, Heredity, Angelica Houston, Transparent, TV Smash, and Ian McShane, American Gods, Hellboy. This is a spin-off of the John Wick films and takes place between the third and fourth films in the John Wick series. When Ana was a child, her father was killed by Gabriel, which is a main plot point of Ana seeking revenge. The Continental's Ian finds the angry child Ana and drops her off with Angelica, who gives her training in assassination and other assorted techniques to Ana. Ana discovers that there are two basic organizations in her workforce field of expertise: Angelica's, aka the Director, and Gabriel's, aka the Chancellor. Ana's duty is clear. She has to kill Gabriel to right the universe. Ana is told to fight like a girl, and boy does she ever. The fight scenes are fantastic, as to be expected from a John Wick movie. And yes, the dog-loving assassin does make an appearance. It's rated R for bloody violence, language, and has a running time of 2 hours and 4 minutes. Okay, one more review to go through. This is a 10 out of 10 and is titled, from Jason F-99, Ballerina is a lethal ballet of brutal beauty. Ballerina is an absolute knockout of seamless extension of the John Wick universe that doesn't just live in its shadow, but pirouettes to center stage with power, precision, and purpose. Ana de Armas delivers a tour de force performance as Rooney, blending vulnerability and viciousness in a role that's both emotionally grounded and physically electrifying. From the first frame to the last bullet casing, Ballerina is a symphony of style and action. Director Len Wiseman crafts every set piece with the elegance of a dance and the savagery of a knife fight. The choreography is a thing of beauty, fluid, fierce, and consistently inventive. Whether it's a snow-drenched ambush or a high society infiltration, every moment pulses the energy and cinematic flair. The world building expands on the Wickverse without bloating it. Familiar faces return. Yes, Keanu makes it count, but they serve the story rather than distract from it. Rooney's revenge arc is personal and raw, driven by grief and grit, making the violence feel earned and the stakes deeply human. What truly elevates Ballerina is emotional core. Beneath the blood, the ballet lies a story of identity, loss, and defiance. It's stylish, yet never shallow. Ballerina just doesn't hit the mark. It carves out its own legacy, graceful, deadly, unforgettable. If this is the future of John Wick, consider me all in. Okay. We heard from 1 stars all the way to 10 stars. We've heard from users, viewers. We heard from critics. And so we got a good idea of what people are thinking about. But now it's time to find its place in the lunch break point system. The lunch break point system is a unique lunch-themed rating system designed to help you decide if a movie or TV show is worthy of your time. Each title is scored across 5 key categories: the taste test, the flavor, table talk, second helpings, and craving more. With 5 points per category totaling 25 points, bonus points can be awarded for standout elements, fog, Oscar worthiness, or deducted for major missteps, cringe factor. The final score determines if it's a packet or a toss in the trash. A bad lunch can ruin your day, so here we go. Okay, the taste test. This is the initial impact, the story, the plot. Now, here's where it's gonna go a little bit, because I knew about it. There's a lot of buzz. We'll get to that shortly. I really liked this movie, and so for that, I'm gonna rank this one at a 4 out of 5. Next is the flavor, the overall quality. This is the characters, the visual styles, all the goodness. And for me, I'm gonna go with another overall quality. Ana de Armas did good. There was some flaws though. I feel that they didn't do. She needed a little bit more easily training. Maybe a couple more scenes of her just busting out some missions, because she still felt really new as she was getting to the end of the movie. And she got her butt kicked a lot that I felt wasn't more than what they showed. So for this, I think I'm going to give this a 3. So better than 2.5, but not a 4. Okay. Next is going to be table talk. This is the buzz factor, the entertainment value. Here is where the movie fog comes in. If you have a movie and it's has the unbelievable aspect to it, you have to be able to get people into your world. And John Wick does just that. John Wick can fall from a 6-story building, get up, shake it off, and start shooting people again. This was very, very similar. Was it as much as a John Wick movie? No, I don't think so. But I am still going to give this one a 4. I'm thinking we're at about 11 out of 25 as of right now. Next is a second helping, the rewatchability. This could easily be rewatched. I'll probably watch this 2 or 3 times, and because of that, this is going to be a 5. All right, and lastly is craving more. Do I desire more content from this? And I absolutely do. I love the John Wick stuff. Another 5 for me. So this is a 21 out of 25. But bonus points is, yes, the amount of fighting that Ana de Armas does, she deserves a bonus point for this. She does such a fantastic job. And the movie thought, because I was very, very invested. I'm giving this 2 points for both of those. This is going to bring to a 23 out of 25. I'm not going to give this one any penalties. It didn't drag on. I felt like it went good. It probably could have shut down a little bit, and some of those fighting scenes was a little bit much. But I think 23 out of 25 after everything is said and done is good. It's just a good action movie that you can go to, you can enjoy, you don't have to read into it, and if you do, you're not going to like it. If you're the type of person that, okay, cool, yes, I cannot suspend disbelief anymore. My wife didn't want to see that just because of that. She did not like John Wick 4 because she couldn't get into that movie plot. And that's fine. That's fine. Me, I super enjoyed it. So here we go. I got a 23 out of 25 points. Where is this going to rack up? So, okay. 0 to 9 is a toss in the trash. 10 to 14 left in the break room. 15 to 19 is a quick lunch. So this is a packet. A 20 plus is a packet. So with all of that, do you agree with the ratings, the user ratings, the viewer ratings, the critic ratings, my rating, the lunch break point system, all of that good stuff? Was there anything that I'm not thinking of? Did I miss anything? You let me know. All right. So with all of that, final verdict is go watch this movie. Watch it in a big screen. Make sure you're as big of the screen as you can. I saw that at the B&B Theaters grand screen, and it was so freaking awesome. If you want to help me out, let me know. You can find me at Nerd Dad Brad on Letterboxd, Nerd Positive 1 on Facebook, Nerd Positive on TikTok, at an X at Nerd Dad Brad. Also, yes, lunch break notes here. I did get out a TikTok of Betweeners. It's a comic that a friend of mine, I would love to call this guy a friend, talked a great conversation with Adam Carter. So much fun. I gave his comic a rating of 22 out of 25. Hey, just like this. All right. Thank you for tuning into Lunch Break Reviews. For more bite-sized reviews of latest TV shows, comics, and blockbusters, follow and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to leave 5-star ratings and share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Want to join the conversation? Reach out to me. You'll be the next special guest on Lunch Break Reviews. Bye-bye.